What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another morning. Good morning, Tottenham.
Just about.
I know it's just about morning.
Just about.
I mean, maybe we should call it good afternoon, Tottenham. But look, as you can see, with a smile on my face, a smile on my brother's face, today or yesterday was the day that the fans reclaimed the football that we all know and love so much. But look, the work is not done yet. That's one out. That is one to go. We still need to get the parasites out of our club. Not just Tottenham, but all these owners that tried to ruin football for all of us need to get out of the sport that we know and love so much. But look, the support, the fans did so much. It wasn't just, everyone, not just Tottenham fans, but everyone around the globe really helped make this happen, from the fans in America, all the noise on social media, fans gathering outside stadiums, outside Ellen Road with the Liverpool fans, outside Anfield, outside Tottenham's, well, it's just me outside Tottenham Stadium, but outside
Stamford Bridge.
That was the main one.
That's the main one. And look, you got to say massive thank you to all the fans who made their voices heard and sent a message to the elites that this will not stand and this is not acceptable, and this is why we're in the position we're in, because of everyone banding together. And it needed every single one of us to send that message to the elite that you cannot take this game away from us. This is our game too, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm so proud of the football community. I'm so proud of everyone for getting this done. But yeah, as you say, we can't stop at the moment, because as much as I've given ENIC, me personally, have given ENIC the benefit of the doubt on a lot of things during my time as a Tottenham supporter.
They showed their true colours.
Exactly. Every time they didn't go for a play, or every time they did something I didn't agree with, I just brushed off as they're trying to build a club and they're trying to build the stadium and all these different things. But any sort of benefit of the doubt now is gone. Any sort of benefit of the doubt now is gone, and in this position right now, it's untenable. What they tried to do.
I promise you now, people are still there's a very small minority of them that are still backing up ENIC in some sort of way, being like, but this stadium you're outside, they built it for you, they paid for that stadium. No, yes, they did build it, but they did not build it for us. I guarantee you, they did not build it for us. They built it to carry on lining their pockets. They built it especially for this Super League, so we can get into this Super League. And I'm not having it, we got this new shiny stadium. Mate, I prefer to be at White Hart Lane, you know what I mean, than this stadium built for this stupid Super League built to ruin football.
Exactly. It built to end competition. And that's why I think ENIC now, they have to go. They have to go. I can't have them running my club anymore when we know what their true intentions are. And it's not with the fans. It's not with the club. It's for lining their own pockets. And for too long, I think maybe us personally, or me personally, have given them a free ride in what they've trying to achieve. And yes, they have built the club up from where it was back when they took over. But it's never been for the purpose of the club itself or the fans. It's always been for their own selfish purposes. And now we're seeing that as soon as they got the first chance to jump ship and without a care in the world and take the club away from the fans, they did it. They jumped at the chance straight away. And I don't care if they were going to be left behind. They're worried about all these things. Yeah, you could say that, but at the end of the day, they accepted what they did, and they have to live with those decisions. And that is showing their true colours.
And what are we thinking now for the rest of the season? Because obviously we've got a cup final. There's still a slight outside chance of top four.
Yeah, because everyone else dropped points.
The thing is, though, if we do get top four, is that not just helping ENIC line their pockets even more?
Probably.
I know it's a detriment to the club, but if we do want to get them out, I'm not saying, look, let's not get top four, because obviously I'm dying to be back in that Champions League, but isn't that just helping them line their pockets even more?
Yeah. Of course it is, because they get that sweet Champions League money, which they're definitely going to need now after sacking Mourinho, probably on the back of thinking they're going to be in the Super League, and now that money isn't going to be coming. So I definitely think that the Champions League definitely helps them. It helps bail them out a bit, but at the end of the day, I just want what's best for Tottenham, and being in the Champions League is that.
But what's best for Tottenham is not having ENIC running the club.
Correct, but I don't think dropping out the Champions League is going to quicken that. I really don't.
Look, I want to talk about the statements made by the chairmans last night. First of all,
let me try and get the Tottenham one up.
Yeah, first of all, Daniel Levy's statement last night was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. No remorse at all. No apology at all. You could just tell from that statement how seething he was of losing all this money. And it made me sick. It made me sick to my stomach. At least Kroenke had the stomach to come out and apologise. At least John Henry of Liverpool came out and had the stomach to apologise on a video this morning.
Yeah.
But what do we get from Levy?
Nothing.
We get absolutely nothing.
No apology, nothing.
And, you know, and it even confirms those colours coming out, those true colours of Enoch and Daniel Levy coming out.
As much as I think John Henry's statement was a public apology was just to save face, but I can respect the fact that he fronted up to his own fans. He made a video. He spoke to them directly. You know, he went and spoke to them face to face. Looked in the camera and said, "I'm sorry. We haven't heard anything like that from Levy." And Levy constantly goes on about how much he cares about the fans and all this stuff. He's a Tottenham fan when he was younger. If he cared even half of what he was saying beforehand, he would publicly come out and talk to the fans, get on camera and say what needs to be said. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the stomach to do it. Let's get the statement up. It says, "We can confirm we've formally commenced procedures to withdraw from the ESL. Chairman Daniel Levy said we regret the anxiety and upset caused by the ESL proposal. We felt it was important that our club participated in the development of a possible new structure that sought to ensure financial fair play and financial sustainability whilst delivering significantly increased support for the wider football pyramid. We believe that we should never stand still and that the sports constantly review competitions and governance to ensure the game we all love continues to evolve and excite fans around the world. We should like to thank all those supporters who presented their considered opinions." One interesting line I want to read from that. "We believe we should never stand still." You mean like signing no players for 18 months? Like that kind of thing, yeah? Is that what he means by never standing still?
He means his pocket should never stand still. That's what he means.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
What he means.
That's exactly
but
what he means.
I think I do get the point in terms of that football does need some sort of reform with UEFA and FIFA. And I think that in one sense, you're right to stand up for the game, and in one sense, you're right to reform football. But the way they went about it, in such a grotesque and disgusting manner, they just need to get out of the sport, man. They try to ruin it for everyone. Yes, I do believe that football does need a reform, and they really need to rethink about things, how you know the money is spread around the leagues and how you can get these clubs out of financial difficulty in the lower leagues and in the higher leagues and whatever. And you know, we need to take the power away from these big corporations like FIFA and UEFA and what have you. But the way that they go on about it is completely in the wrong way. Completely the wrong way.
Literally,
just thinking about themselves, not thinking about the greater good of the wider sport. And it's a complete, like I said, grotesque and disgusting what they try to do.
Exactly. They tried to steal the game from
Never
everyone.
forget what these people try to do.
They tried to steal the game from everyone. In the midst of a pandemic, when there are no fans in the stadium, they thought they could get away with it. They thought they could just push through and get away with it. But we stood up. Everyone stood up and stood up to be counted. And now we're in a position where it's been disbanded. And I wouldn't say credit to Chelsea, but at least Chelsea were the first one to do it, and they needed one club to do it.
Credit to their fans.
Massive credit to their fans, but it needed one club to I said yesterday that Levy will never in a million years be the first club to be the first chairman to pull out of the Super League. He's going to be a sheep.
He's a sheep.
And
he is a sheep.
The only way it happens if someone goes out first. And Chelsea were the first ones to pull the plug, thankfully, and everyone seemed to follow suit. But as soon as one club cracked, it was always possible that everyone else would follow suit. And that's why apparently there are still 5 teams left in it at this current time, clinging on to hope.
Everyone but the English teams, right? And Atletico.
I think Atletico are out. I believe Barca, Madrid, Juve, and AC Milan. I think Inter are out as well. So 4 teams still left in it, clinging on to anything they can at the moment.
We got Sai waiting to come on. Let's see what he has to say. I know he's been waiting to come on for a couple of days now, but he's on.
Has he?
Yeah, but let's see what he has to say. Sai.
Hey, Sai.
Guys, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, Sai. How you doing, mate?
The internet is okay as well. Yeah, you good,
exactly.
guys?
Yeah, we're very good this morning. Obviously,
good.
1 down, 1 to go. We still need to get these parasites out of our club. But tell me your thoughts. How are you feeling this morning regarding the whole situation?
I'm happier than yesterday. I'll admit, whether you think it's sad or not, I was up most of the night the other night when I heard the news like everyone else.
We all were, Si. I think we all were, mate.
Honestly, after the year we've had, you sit there and wonder, if Eon was right and we are in a simulation, is this actually some kind of mental world we live in? But guys, the sheer effrontery of all this happened is astonishing. It's disgusting. What has happened? You go on their website now, the statement's gone. It's like brush it on. It's gone. I can't find it on the homepage.
It's not on the Tottenham website.
It's gone off the homepage. It's almost, unless my internet is really bad and there's things missing. But from what I've just checked,
take a look at that. Oh, it's definitely on the. It was definitely on the Twitter account. You're right.
No, you're
now,
right.
This to me,
you're right.
This to me is absolutely disgusting. Chucking things under the carpet and expecting us to forget this.
You know what? You know what's just been posted though? The thrills of the Dare Skywalk. That's important. Apparently, that's more important than the statement. This
is one of my key points, guys. Like, I'm behind you in the fact, like, the stadium needed to be done to an extent to take us to another level of, hopefully, investment in the team. We haven't seen it yet. Let's be honest, financially, we've borrowed pretty much 90% of the money, and it's going to take a while to pay off. Totally understand that business sense. But I'm getting more and more impressions, not just our club, but other clubs. And I'm sure Arsenal and other teams think the same because they're promised the dream with new stadiums and nothing comes to fruition of it. But what does happen is you start seeing more information about other sports using our stadium, skywalks, events, concerts and stuff. How about start sorting the club out, guys? Like, the chicanery of how he's done this over the last couple of days is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, let's move on. There's no proper explanation. I commend the Liverpool owners for coming out. I still think it's unforgivable, and it will not be forgotten by those fans. But to come out with a video like they did, in my opinion, is a good step of apologising. It's a massive thing to do.
Do you think it's sincere, Si, though? Do you think it's sincere?
No, because he's been forced to do it, probably because his PR team have been absolutely abused left, right and centre from their fans to go, we need to do something here. Imagine the sponsors seeing this. Like, I don't know what the stance is of sponsorship, where they can pull contracts and this, that and the other because of these sorts of things that have been going on. It's just disgusting. It's the recognition of accepting defeat. They know they were wrong. Apologising, I think, is a massive thing for them to do, irrespective of whether they're forced to do it or not. But in reality, like, I don't care about the other clubs. This club disgusts me for a long, long time. The management of it, the ownership of it, from the very top. Joe Lewis sitting on his super yacht, the other side of the world. I've told you before, I've seen him personally at a game once. I don't think, whether I've been watching on TV or at games myself, have seen him at all. That is a problem, massive problem. Levy has basically been given the authority to go and do what he wants in our club. His ego.
Don't be talking about super yachts. I've been on your super yacht, so don't start.
It's coming, mate. It's coming. Crypto's
Si,
coming.
let me go on. Keep going.
No, let me just say, like, his ego is palpable.
Yeah,
it's too much. He thinks that he's the cavalier of Tottenham Hotspur, the shining knight with armour, sitting on his proud big horse, his big stadium, thinking that he owns that stadium. No, he does not. Because us fans, for years, I'm talking about my generation, our generation, of nonsense football for the 90s and most of the noise, yeah? All the people like my dad's generation before that have been fortunate enough to see some great teams and some great, trophies. It's not, for me, it's not all about trophies. It's all about playing and trying to win and giving a good performance, and it's now the trophy's a bonus. But, like, the way that has gone in the last 20 years, we all sat there a couple of years ago thanking, Lord Levy for his stadium and stuff like this. But I was always adamant that there will still be problems there. The stadium was needed, of course, for progression. But the fact of the matter is, we're used as a business like every other club is. The fans have dropped down the pecking order. We talk about the shares of fans in clubs disappearing. I remember I used to have shares even when I was like 15 in Tottenham. They were all gone, replaced.
I got some for my bar mitzvah.
Exactly. You sell them off for a few quid and then they go and mess up a few billions worth. But the problem really relies with FIFA and UEFA, there always has been, with the corruption, the problem. The way these teams have done this is inexcusable. There's the thing that's annoyed me massively more about it all is the lack of communication, the involvement, not necessarily of fans, because ultimately fans don't have, full say or full control of what happens with UEFA, FIFA, and obviously our board, but at least involve our trusts, maybe even the season ticket holders. These, people that spend good money, I'm talking good money or hard-earned cash on these big tickets. Me as a member of going to pretty much every game, spending money, 3-4 hours a journey. How about include us on this? Yeah, because now you've embarrassed us to the rest of the league. And I'll say this now, punishment-wise, I will accept point deductions. I will accept anything that's thrown at Tottenham. Because if there was any other team other than those top 6 that were mentioned in that Super League from the Premier League, we'd all be saying something about it. We'd all be angry at them and asking the Premier League for deduction of points for left, right and centre punishment. I think it's disgusting. I think it needs something like that for Levy to get out of this club, for the sponsors to start getting on his back. The fans need to wake up now. I'm fed up with the years of giving them everything, giving them, what Sim just said, the benefit of the doubt. I'm done with that. I don't want them there anymore. Give it to an owner that's ambitious, that will take us to another level. Stop scrimping and scraping on players. Stop going for stupid Super Leagues, which is basically essentially throwing out the legacy of what fans of football are, in our club especially. I don't want it there anymore. I don't want him there anymore. He's a gigantic problem, has been for years. Enough is enough. ENIC
100%.
out has been something I've been shouting about for a long time. It's not a case of Josie in, Josie out, ENIC in, out, without any substance. It's not just because of this. It's years and years of turmoil, of the audacity of that man, the ego-ness of that man is disgusting. It's too much. It's greedy. It's taken away the foundations and the traditional fundamental values of our club, and more importantly, what us fans stand for. And that goes for the other clubs as well. They need to put massive pressure on their club owners to remove themselves as soon as possible. I've had enough of it.
And what did you say to all the fans doing this protest tonight, 4 p.m. at White Hart Lane? Massive ENIC out protest tonight. We can't stop. I mean, this can't be the last point of call, this protest today. We got to keep going until we get the club we know and love back. Yeah,
humans have a choice. Yeah, we have a choice to stand up for what we believe in, whether it's right or wrong. You have an opinion, you have an argument. It should be respected either way. This has been a massive catalyst for it to really generate fans to get angry about this in a hopefully safe manner when they do go and do it. Don't cause any massive problems, because that's not what we want. We don't want to deter from the problem.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do. If my car comes back from repair today, I'll be at that protest as well. I'm telling you now. I live all the way down near Portsmouth. I go to most games. I will more than happily get down there myself and show my frustrations. It's enough. It has to keep going every game.
What's your message to the fans who say, because I think there is a portion of fans who say Levy's hands were tied in a sense that if the Super League was happening and if the Super League was happening and they were invited to it and he rejected the opportunity, Spurs would have been feared to have been left behind by the rest of football, and we would have been stuck in a situation where this Super League goes ahead and all of a sudden we're stuck out of it and we're on the outside looking in. What do you say to those fans who kind of are justifying Levy joining the Super League in that sense?
From a business aspect, I can understand the philosophy behind it of why they would possibly want to do it. But the fact remains there was zero communication about this to anyone. The announcement, albeit it was pre-planned potentially before, we know that in the background about a year or whenever it was ago, that this was a potential opportunity to happen. The way the announcement came out was shocking. I can't get my head around the timing of it. I mean, the
factor of the matter aside, the Tottenham Supporters Trust have regular meetings with the board.
Yes.
Regular meeting with Daniel Levy, I think once a month or something like that. And this was never brought up. Not once.
Nothing.
Not once was this ever brought up.
It's like everyone else. I got messaged. I don't have Sky Sports and stuff on my Apple or the TV or whatever. I got a message from my Spurs pals on the group chat saying this has just been announced, and I'm sat there like 11 o'clock at night going, I had to read it about 10 times. I was like, "You're having a laugh. This is shocking." I didn't believe it at all for the initial 5 minutes. Like, it's come out of nowhere. That is my whole point. It's the disgusting manner that this has occurred. Tottenham Hotspur Trust is massively respected. I respect them massively. We've known them years and years through the old Spurs community forums and stuff.
Yeah.
I know people on that board. Like, it's come out of nowhere. So I don't understand the timing. Why now? Is it because, maybe Levy's enjoying it because we're not probably going to get top four? Who knows? I still believe well. You know how I'm like. But like, he's probably sat there going, this is a great opportunity. Guaranteed. Loads of money. Fantastic. That's probably what it's all down to. But why now? Why now? Why not at the end of the season? Yeah. Now we've got this cup final coming up. I know it's not like the most massive final in the world. It's still something important, something to look forward to. Why? Why do it? Then throw the Jose thing as a massive distraction, like under the radar. Yeah, by the way, this has happened. But hey, guys, Super League is way up here. This has happened. I'm astonished, guys. I honestly am utterly, massively disappointed. I want to use more aggressive words right now, but obviously I appreciate you guys want your monetization, so I'm not going to say them.
You can use whatever words you want, Si.
And my mum's watching.
And Si, also...
Don't blame it on us, then.
Yeah. Si, not Saul, Si. How do you react to... I'm reading as well news. It was from Duncan Castle, who is fairly decent sources close to Jose Mourinho. And he's claiming today that the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to the relationship between Mourinho and Levy is that Mourinho planned to rest players in midweek in this game against Southampton in preparation for the cup final. And apparently Levy was furious at this because he wanted to make sure that we had every chance of making top four, so that was a priority for Levy, basically. So what do you react? What's your reaction to that?
My opinion, like everyone has different opinions about it. It's always the manager's the first one to go. Never blame on the players that put in the poor performances or paid enough money, in my opinion, to get their asses kicked into gear to play professionally and properly in the first place. But this goes back to my point about Levy having so much control. And I think the Amazon documentary was a prime example of that, of the way he commands himself in the dining rooms and stuff, making suggestions to Jose that this player should be playing, this player should be doing this. Yeah, I'm sure some players are frustrated and saying, hang on a minute, I want to be playing on Wednesday, this, that, and the other. We want to get top four. Totally understand that. But these reports, you've got to take them sometimes with a pinch of salt. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another distraction from Levy to make another excuse as to why he's done it. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But I don't look at the articles into too much detail. Everyone says different things. Most of them are rumours. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either way. I'm just really disappointed for Jose to have left the way he did as well. It wasn't perhaps as bad as Pochettino, but even then in my mind, I'm emotionally attached to that situation. The lack of investment has been the major problem of the last two managers losing their jobs. And you could probably go back to say that exact same thing for actually the last 15, 20 years, to be honest. We have ridden our luck in the times we have had good seasons in Champions League and things, have been because the managers in that particular time has got the best out of them possible. We've had incremental stages in the last many seasons to buy players. We scrimp and scrape on 5 million or so. I don't understand the logic, because if you're not in the Champions League, you miss out immediately on a minimum 40 million. So I cannot understand the difference of 5 million being spent or not. This is Levy's ego to win his own mind, his psychopathic mind, to get the best negotiation possible, spend the least amount of money possible. I don't know if that is a directive from Joe Lewis or not, but for me, Levy is there to collect his pension and receive his bonuses on an annual basis, which I guarantee he'll still get every year, regardless of our position and regardless of what we do in any transfer market and whatever way they try to treat us fans as well.
And
I've had enough of it.
Yeah, and Si, I want to ask you this last question. At this point now, is ENIC and Daniel Levy's tenure untenable, or is there any coming back from this at this point, or is it completely untenable?
Listen, I remember, Ben, a few weeks ago, mate, you said about, it's almost impossible for fans to remove a board. It's not like the 90s when people like my dad and stuff lining up outside the stadium to get sugar out and things like this.
I remember that. I remember that so clearly. Sugar out, Graham out. I was going and sitting on the Park Lane with my uncle. Had 2 season tickets at the time. The guy he was going with didn't go very often. So me and my uncle used to go sit there, Upper Park Lane, and the protests week in, week out was absolutely constant, non-stop, and they did not stop until they got George Graham out, till they got Alan Sugar out. I said to you, I don't think it's that time anymore, but I've been proved wrong with the manpower that I've shown to get this Super League out, and I believe, and I've fully changed my mind, and I think we can get them out. I genuinely believe we can.
Listen, the way I know about brand and marketing, if you guys and everyone starts doing protests with things in the background like Nike sponsorship adverts and things like this, I guarantee you it will go a long way, because these sponsors will not want those kind of messages hanging over their branding on social media and other news outlets. That is the key to doing it, is get in front of everyone's faces, tag anyone associated with the club possible, so that they feel the wrath of how angry and frustrated we are. Not just to this Super League. I've said this for years. I'm sick and tired of excuses now. The time, if you want to progress the club, sell it to an owner that will put decent money in there, as much as they can, to push it to the next level without having to go down stupid ways.
That's another thing, though, finding an actual owner
with billions, a billionaire
with billions of pounds that can actually come in and make a positive change to the club.
Yeah, look, guys, I don't want to see a whole Chelsea City thing. I'm not asking for multiple billions. I'm a very
that's what it's going to take.
That's what they want to take the club. The club's valued at $1 billion or $2 billion or something.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, someone's got to buy that, of course. And at the end of the day, it is going to be a consortium or business. But what you do need is good leadership in the chairman level, that is level-headed, that has the fans first in mind. Obviously there's business decisions and fans have to play a part in that. But from what's happened in the last 20 years, yes, fantastic new stadium. We have had some good transfers here and there, not in the critical places. I sometimes feel players are brought in just to shut the fans up for another season, because we go and buy £67 million of nonsense half the time, like all the other clubs do. And it keeps us quiet, keeps all the FIFA gamer players quiet, because we've spent a load of money not on the right things. The time is to stop all that. Get this ownership out as soon as possible, whether that's Joe Lewis or, in fact, I'd be happy at this stage just seeing Daniel go. Yeah, get a new chairman of the board in that's going to start pulling on the strings of Joe to say, mate, you need to start putting money into this thing and stop treating it like an asset. This is, affecting people's lives, mentality. This actually means something to millions of people. Yeah, this isn't just a money grab for us, like it is for you. Get a Levy out there, get someone who's getting better control of him and better control of the whole entire recruitment process, the transfer policies. Stop thinking that you own Tottenham Hotspur yourself, and get someone that will put the fans first, and more importantly, the club and the team's ambitions first as well. That is what needs to happen, and I totally agree with you guys. Every game, fans need to protest and get in front of all the sponsorship ads with the Nike things in the background, the wonderful ticks, all the other sponsors. Get them in the background of your videos, and I guarantee it will come down quicker than you think. I've had enough of it.
100%, Si. I agree with every single last word you said. But look, Si, absolute pleasure to have you on as always. Brilliant and strong words as always. And yeah, we look forward to having you on sometime soon.
Back to work. Come on, you
Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
Nice
to see you, Si. Always a pleasure, mate. A few super chats here we should probably go through.
Let me just welcome our new member to TJ. Welcome to the family, my friend. Welcome to the family.
Toby Millard with the super chat. Nothing to say, just a super chat. Thank you for the support.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, where's it got? What's just happened? One sec.
I've got some here.
They're gone.
I've got from 51% fan ownership now, says Joe from Devon. Great content as always, guys. We need to reach out with rival fans and campaign for 51% fan ownership raised in Parliament on Monday.
Yeah, unbelievable. We should try that. I'm trying to. Oh, where's it gone? So annoying. They've just gone now. There's a few more as well.
Let me see if I can find them.
There you go.
There's one here from Kev Williams. I'm totally ENIC out more than ever after this. I mean, the tide has completely turned on ENIC.
Look,
It's
it has to.
completely
It has
turned.
to after what's happened. There's no excuses anymore. The mask has totally been lifted.
You would say now this is the first time the fan base have been so together on a decision like this since we wanted Sugar out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm too young to remember what it was like back then.
Oh, it was so toxic going to Spurs back then. You know, the only songs that were sung in the stadium was "We want Graham out, we want Sugar out" until they were gone.
And
that's
I
what
think,
needs to happen.
right now, it's pretty much getting to. It's pretty much gotten to that stage. I think now.
Yeah.
And I think it's right, and rightly so. I think a lot of fans have given Levy and ENIC a lot of the benefit of the doubt, including me, for a long, long time. And because I thought they were growing the club, I thought they wanted to make us a superpower or one of the leading clubs in Europe to match the ambition of the fans. But unfortunately, what the reality is, they just wanted to line their own pockets. They wanted to get as much money as possible. And they couldn't give us stuff about the fans. They couldn't give us stuff about the team. I don't even like the fact as well. If you think about it, the fact they're going to the Super League means as well, because it's not based on merit. It's not based on football merit or how good your team is at all. So we could be dog shit year on year on year, and it doesn't mean a thing because we're going to be in it next year.
It gives them even more excuse
there is
not
no
to sign
ambition.
players. More excuse to not sign players.
Exactly, and more excuse to not care if we're failing on the pitch. So that as well is another reason why they couldn't care less about what happens on the pitch, and all they care about is the bottom line and their balance sheet. That's all they care about, and it's clear as day now.
Ironically, we would be standing still if we're in the Super League.
Exactly. That's
And
completely right, Joe.
As Joe just said behind camera, I'm not sure if you heard it, he said, ironically, we will be standing still in the Super League.
Exactly, because there's no moving up or down. It's just stagnant. And it seemed like the most boring idea as well. I couldn't stand what I was seeing. Kev Williams again says, "Who can afford to buy our amazing club?" Great question. That's a great question. It's a hard one to answer.
Yeah, it is a hard one to answer because you don't know. You don't know. There are plenty of rich people in this world, but we don't know, man. We don't know. We just want to get these parasites out of our club. We want to regain control of the club that we love, and we need to see it pushing in the right direction. That's
Here's
the main point.
apparently an excerpt from Duncan Castle's article, which I think is very. If it's true, he does seem to have close links to Mourinho, and he has ever since he's been a journalist ever since Mourinho has been at United. He's had quite close links. So I'm going to read this out. It's quite interesting. He says basically he and Levy fell out massively. He was on a collision course since January. Levy wanted to control too much, as with him everything is down to money. Levy was constantly pressuring him to play Dele and
Is this from
Bergwijn.
Duncan Castles?
I'm not sure who this is from.
No, 'cause I got this as a text last night,
From who?
just from a random friend of mine.
Oh, maybe it's not from. Okay, but let me read it out anyway. He
I don't
says
know how true. I don't
it
think
might
this
not
is
be true. It might. Look, to be honest, I don't know why it wouldn't be true.
It sounds true, but I don't know how this could come about. Anyway, carry on.
It says Levy was constantly pressuring him to play Dele and Bergwijn more as they had higher transfer values and needed to be in the shop window. Same with Bale. Levy told him he's not paying 200k per week for him to sit on the bench. The bombshell, however, is as follows. Yesterday morning, Levy instructed him to play his strongest team versus Southampton as there is still a chance we will get top four. Jose told him he wanted to save his best team for the final, but Levy told him he doesn't care about winning the cup. It's all about the top four as the club priority is top four. Jose told him it sounds like he doesn't need a coach anymore as he has it all worked out. The final nail was Jose telling him this is why Spurs will never win anything because the club priority is in the wrong place and he has built a fantastic business but will always have a poor football team. Jose told Lucas Moura there are things in his contract he cannot disclose, but one day when he writes his book, he'll expose Levy for what he is and for everyone to see for themselves. Jose told Kane he has to leave if he wants to win anything and fulfill his potential as a striker in the world, best striker in the world. He also told them the same, but also said that Levy won't make it easy for them. All players were rejoicing yesterday, apart from Lucas, Vinicius and Højbjerg, who were generally saddened. Kane and Son stayed professional.
Vinicius was saddened.
Yeah, maybe maybe that Portuguese link, you know.
Maybe, yeah.
But Holbein and January saddened. Kane and Son stayed professional. Lloris, Winks and Dele led celebrations, and mood around the training was lifted, and they welcomed Mason and Powell with open arms. I mean, yes, we don't know how true. We don't have any sources to
Sounds like
to
it could
confirm.
be true, though,
I think it sounds absolutely spot on to me. There's nothing in there that tells me that speaks to me like it's definitely not true.
Yeah,
That sounds absolutely
It does.
like it's completely true.
it does.
There's not everything seems to add up as well. You know, the fact that Kane all of a sudden making serious movements about leaving and stuff. You know, Delhi leading the celebrations. That's completely believable.
But it's so easily made up as well.
It is very easily made up. That's true. But it sounds like, you know, Levy criticising Jose for not using Bale more. That definitely stinks of something that could easily be true. And talking about things that are potentially fake or not, there's supposedly a voice note from Jamie Redknapp from talking about the sacking of Jose Mourinho in a leaked voice note. Now, to me, this sounds like Jamie Redknapp.
I haven't heard this. So
This sounds like Jamie Redknapp to
listen
me.
to it.
Let's try and listen to it. Some people are saying that they don't think it is, but to me, it definitely sounds like him. And like, I know his voice, and it definitely sounds like his voice. But let's listen. Do we have the audio ready?
I heard it was based on
I can't
where
hear
they
it.
were in the league in terms of when they sacked him. So if the Spurs sacked him when he was in the top four,
Can't hear it.
I think he got
Can you hear
30.
it in the
If they
chat?
sacked
Can
him
you
when he
hear
was in the
that?
top six, he got a
It's the
different
right,
amount. And the fact they're sacking him when he's not in the top six takes that down to like
Can you
4
hear
or
it?
5,
Can you hear the voice
even
in the
less than
chat?
that
Let me
million.
know.
So that's why Daniel's done it now, rather than wait. I mean, I don't get why he's done it during the cup final on Sunday, but
How long is
they
it?
are fucking clowns there.
It's only 30 seconds.
All right, so let me just play it to myself.
Cup final.
We can play it out loud, maybe. They said they can all
They've
hear
heard it, so let me just play it for myself because I haven't heard it. It's on our Twitter, right?
Yeah.
I heard it was based on where they were in the league in terms of when they sacked him. So if the Spurs sacked him when he was in the top four, I think he got 30. If they sacked him when he was in the top six, he got a different amount. And the fact they're sacking him when he's not in the top six takes that down to like 4 or 5, even less than that million. So that's why Daniel's done it now, rather than wait. I mean, I don't get why he's done it during the cup final on Sunday, but they are fucking clowns there.
That sounds like Jamie Redknapp.
It does sound like him.
It does. If it's not him, it's a
I
very,
heard
very
it was
convincing.
based on where they were in the league.
It's a very convincing
Sounds like him to
impression.
me.
It
It
does
sounds like
sound like
him
him. I don't know what people think in the comments. Let me know if they think it's Redknapp or not. See, people say, what do we think? What do we think in the comments?
Will Stewart said we were talking over it, so can you play it again?
All right, let's play it again. We'll play it. We'll
Play it again.
Yeah, can we? We'll play it one more time.
We'll play it one more time for you guys.
I heard it was based on where they were in the league in terms of when they sacked him. So if the Spurs sacked him when he was in the top four, I think he got 30. If they sacked him when he was in the top six, he got a different amount. And the fact they're sacking him when he's not in the top six takes that down to like 4 or 5, even less than that million. So that's why Daniel's done it now, rather than wait. I mean, I don't get why he's done it during the cup final on Sunday, but they are fucking clowns there.
All right, that's it. I'm not.
I mean,
sure.
it's very split in the comments if you think it's him or not.
Some people say they think it's him. Some people say don't. Look, to me, it definitely sounds like him.
I thought
It
so.
definitely sounds
thought
like
so.
him. And I wasn't in any doubt that it was him at the beginning. People are saying it's not. I'm not sure why, but maybe we're wrong. It could easily be a very good impersonator. There are good impersonators out there.
I also heard a rumor that that he refused to take training, not because of the Super League thing, but because Levy had been speaking to another manager.
Is it, oh, really?
I heard something like that. Jose refused to take training, and because of that, that gave Levy a reason for fair dismissal, and he didn't have to pay him as much that way as well.
I see. Interesting.
So there's a few little rumours coming around. So
I
not
didn't
sure
hear that.
what's true.
Where'd you read that?
On the Twitter sphere.
Titterswear. Scott Young with the super chat. As a late great man once said, Enoch, it's time to go.
It's time to go. Rest in
Definitely.
peace, my friend Claude.
Definitely. And it is definitely time to go. Time to get these parasites out of our club.
Wasn't it such an amazing feeling, though? The whole of the football fan community coming together.
And when it finally happened,
no matter who you are, who you support, Chelsea, Arsenal, whatever it is, everyone coming together as one fan base pretty much to get these parasites out of football. And it was such an amazing feeling when it was actually got overturned yesterday, when all these clubs started to pull out.
Yeah, it felt like we've done something, like, because I really feel
Felt
like
big.
Exactly, because if we hadn't all banded together and we allowed it to settle and fester and allowed just sat by, and some there were some fans who were excited about it, a very extreme minority, but there were some fans who were saying, "Oh, we're in the Super League. I can't believe we're in it. I can't believe," like, they were like honoured to be in the Super League and stuff like that.
Some people were telling me, a minority of people saying, "You should be lucky that you're
exactly."
in it."
I had people saying, "Oh, why are you complaining? You're in the Super League." Like, I also saw people saying, "Oh, I bet if you weren't in the Super League, you're complaining you're not in it," and stuff like that. I'm like, no, mate, we don't want this Super League to happen, mate. We do not want this Super League to happen.
Some YouTube channel called us out for trying to arrange an ENIC out protest.
They didn't call us out. They didn't agree with it. Basically,
Yeah.
they said they respect our channel and what we have, but they didn't understand why we would want why we so heavily disagreed with the Super League and we wanted ENIC out based on what they didn't understand it. But they have to understand that ENIC is literally just in this to drive away the legacy fans, the fans who have been at this club for years and for decades and decades and decades. They want to bring through this new future of fans where it doesn't matter whether we win, lose or draw. They're just happy to see the big teams. That's all they care about, and they don't care about competition. They don't care about improving the team. They don't care about all these things. All they want is to line their pockets, get guaranteed income, guaranteed £300 million a year, and it's only for themselves. It's not for the team or the club or anything. They just care about themselves, and that's why we were trying to organise these protests.
And if you guys have any sort of time this afternoon, please get down to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at 4 p.m. There is a massive ENIC out protest planned. We have to get our voices heard. We need to keep going until these parasites are out of football. Joe, can you sort the mixing? And we just need to get these parasites out of football. And if you have any sort of time, do get down to Tottenham today for 4 p.m. We got a super chat here from Roshan. And he says, I just lost it there for a second.
I've got it. Finally, we are seeing Levy and Lewis for who they really are. Levy has never been this great wheeler-dealer chairman he's made out to be. And I agree. And I think, especially recently, like, a lot of the time, he's cost us more deals than he's got us.
Yeah.
That's the truth. A lot of the truth of the matter is, if it wasn't for Levy, there would be a lot more deals that we could have got through the door, or we could have found a compromise with the other chairman saying meet in the middle. But Levy never moves a bloody inch, which is his greatest strength and his greatest weakness as well. And we've said that as well consistently. If it wasn't for Levy, we could have paid an extra few million and gotten Mane instead of Sissoko. If it wasn't for Levy, well, there are so many transfers that would have gone over the line if it wasn't for him, and we would be in a so much better place than we are now. But consistently, he's always gone for the cheaper option. He's always gone for the option which is a less risk to the bank balance. And that's why we are where we are today. And that's why one of my greatest frustrations with him.
There's quite an interesting DM there, if you want to show it, from Bob Spur.
DM on Insta? On Twitter, I mean.
Is it there or is it on my...
Yeah, I got it. It says... At WeAreTottenham TV, we need to be clear, as Spurs fans, we are not anti-evolving of the football brand. We want to move with the times. It was blatantly sly move from these cretins without a thought of the fans, our history and tradition, which angered us all. Not on, not now, not ever. And I think that's completely spot on, and I completely echo those thoughts. I think right now, the way UEFA and FIFA are going, I completely accept that this game needs reform, and I completely accept that the major changes need to be made. But not in the way you do it, not in the way you just, but behind all the fans' backs, you go and make big decisions like that without consulting what the fans want, and especially when what you want is a power grab, and what you want is to basically eliminate all the competition and completely destroy what the football pyramid is. And that is completely unacceptable. So, yeah, I completely agree with Bob Spur there. Great point. Will Stewart with the Super Chat says, I have a bad feeling that this was a well-planned diversion to get us to fall in step with the new UEFA format that sees Real Madrid and United in the Champions League forever. This new format is the European Super League, the ESL Lite. And you know what? You have a point, Will, because the new format is also awful. It's cancer, basically. It's terrible. We will need to also get rid of that as well. We need to rail against this new format because it was also not fair. It's also something that needs to be railed against. But at least we stopped what the biggest threat for the time being was, and that was this European Super League happening in the summer. And I don't think it was a distraction. I really don't. I think it was genuine. I think they all planned for this to move forward. And I think if it wasn't for these protests, it would have happened. I really believe that. And I think we have to not think that this was all a big chess piece play by these 12 clubs. I really think this was going to happen if it wasn't for Chelsea stepping down. 100%. The Baleful says, for those who will go and protest, shout a little louder for this American fan. Profanity is certainly welcome. Hashtag Enoch out. And Gary Paul Speed says, no ESL, no let off. Enoch and Levy fans protest, get out. 100%. 100%.
We need to get these cretins out of our club, and it's another call. Just get down to the Tottenham Stadium tonight at 4:00. We need to keep going. We need to keep getting our voices heard. But let's have a look at the headlines of the papers from this morning. The Times, the front page of the Times is Super League collapses as clubs bow to fan fury. All 6 English clubs full out. Backlashes forces owners to retreat. Man U vice chairman quits. And yeah, you got a picture of their Petr Cech trying to come out and calm some of the Chelsea fans. And damn right, the Chelsea fans calling him out as well.
Yeah, he's part of it at the moment. I do think I felt a bit sorry for Petr Cech because in a way he's kind of like the guy who had to front up the fans. I don't think this was all his making, but I'm sure he was like involved in the decision making and everything and is in the committee. So
that's a brilliant
interesting
one. The day football fought back. It's like we're part of a revolution at the moment to bring football back, reclaim it, kind of thing.
Football Insider claims that Daniel Levy is now facing a huge fight to keep his job after throwing his weight as well as the club's name and history behind the Super League. But it is Football Insider, unfortunately, so can't really take this with a pinch of salt. Gary Cottrell on Sky Sports at the moment outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium saying this is not a great time for Daniel Levy. But he's just reporting. I can't hear what he's saying, unfortunately, but he's outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium now reporting about the struggles that Tottenham are going to have moving forward.
The pages are just absolutely dominated with the story, and another one is
it's the biggest story ever.
Revolt of warm beer and scribbled banners. What's that one? So massive respect to those Chelsea fans that were outside Stamford Bridge yesterday.
Yeah, they did us all proud. They did us all proud yesterday, and it was class, absolutely class. Thogden as well. Making his voice, Thogden and Thogdad, big up to them as well, making sure they got their voices heard, making sure they were part of the protest, even though they're Bolton fans.
They were all crowded around Thogdad. Like, Thogdad, give us a song.
Fuck the ESL. Fucking love that. Absolutely love that. And credit to them as well. They didn't need to go down there as Bolton fans, but obviously it affects everyone in the football calendar, so credit to them.
They kind of did need to go down. The whole of the football community, not just the clubs that were in it, but the whole of the football community came together yesterday.
Exactly. Okay. What else are the papers saying?
Have we got any guests in the back end? No. All right, let's keep going with the headlines. It's actually mad that the front page is actually that with the whole George Floyd thing, the verdict that came out last
Derek
night
Chauvin
as well.
going down guilty, which is a massive relief to everyone, I think, because if that wasn't guilty, bloody hell. But I think it's mad that this story is. I mean, it's more because this is a bigger story probably in the UK than anywhere else. So I think here the biggest story is
a worldwide thing.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's what caused all the protest of the BLM protest, over lockdown. It was a massive. It was also massive. Two massive things happened yesterday.
I do wish kind of fans would come together like this against like racism and stuff like that as well.
Completely agree.
But I think it showed a renewed sense of what football fans as a community can do, because I think that had been lost for quite a while.
Yeah. I think we'd all given
and
up.
I think it's reinvigorated it now, and I think that you're going to see football fans more standing up for what we believe in now.
To be honest, even over the last 48 hours, I was like, before yesterday, I was getting so depressed about all of it. I thought we were just fighting a losing battle at one point. I really did. I thought it was just going to happen. There's nothing we could do about it. I honestly thought they did not give two fucks basically about what the fans thought about all this situation. They're just going to plough ahead with it to align their pockets. But thankfully, Chelsea had had something about them to be the first one to pull out. And everyone, as soon as one pulled out, everyone seemed to follow suit. I think it also shows the cowardice, in a way, of all these top clubs.
They didn't even put up a fight.
Yeah, they're like, once one club, they all panic, okay, we'll go out now.
And after that fighting talk from Florentino Perez, the night before,
he's got so much egg on his face right now after that interview. Like, he couldn't have more egg on his face after that, because he was so adamant it was all going to happen. Everyone signed a contract, 23-year contract. This is all happening. All the clubs are in. We're saving football. All this kind of stuff. We're going to make games shorter, all this crap, and now he's just sitting there with his dick in his hand with nothing.
I wonder what Real Madrid fans are thinking right now about him and about what he's tried to do, because haven't heard much from fans from abroad and stuff like that. Have you heard anything?
No, I haven't.
Because he's the biggest parasite in this all, Florentino Perez and Joel Glazer.
Because they were leading this. Yeah. They were absolutely leading this. What am I reading now? Where is this?
Super chat here from Gary Paul Speed saying, no ESL, no let off, ENIC, Levy, fans protest, get out. 100%.
This is breaking. It says Real Madrid, Juventus, Barcelona and another team that we assure you is just about to join will play an annual 3-match Super League knockout tournament with games in Miami, Beijing and Reader. Reports say Stiliano is up in arms in between. Oh, what? Maybe this is not. I don't know. Is this true? I don't know. I don't know what this is. Executive. I don't know if this is all true. I don't know who this is. Smart Scout.
I mean, if it's still going ahead with just 4 teams, let them do what
they can do. I don't give a crap if they do a Super League knockout tournament every year. Let them do that. As long as they don't take the game away from us. Leave English clubs alone. And I think you've got to say it's the English clubs at the forefront of this. The English fans, I mean, we're the ones who put up the biggest fuss. We've got to say it seems to be England, the English fans, I think maybe with the most to lose at the moment. So you got to say credit to us having the most passion. And I didn't see I didn't hear about any protests out in Spain or Italy or anything like that. It was all here.
I saw a really funny banner outside Man City.
What did it say?
It said, R.I.P. Man City Football Club, 2017 or 2000 and whatever it was till 2021.
Yeah, brilliant.
So funny.
That's very funny. That's very funny. They took over in 2008.
2008, that was it.
2008 to 2021. Brilliant.
But this is more stuff. This is from the Guardian. Fans celebrate as European Super League stands on brink of collapse. And then a few pictures outside Anfield with banners. And this one outside the Etihad, there's a guy holding up a T-shirt and it says, the state of football in 2021. Fans nil, money won. History nil, money won. Passion nil, money won. Heritage nil, money won. Belief nil, money won. Honesty nil, money won. Football nil, money won. Hashtag European Money League games gone. And that's it's all at 100% right, man.
It says here, according to the Times, is this real? Yeah. According to the Times, UEFA is set to be hit with a campaign to drop its plan for 2 Champions League places awarded on the base of historical performances in Europe. The European leagues and figures in the ECA are poised to launch an effort to change the access system planned for 2024. So that's also a step in the right direction. They're trying to stop that going through from what's planned at the moment for 2024. But it's interesting because all the 12 clubs left the ECA. So it'll be interesting to see if they're just welcome back or how going back into that is going to look, because that's what happened. Yeah, unbelievable.
I sent out a tweet last night about 1 a.m. I was just still, I couldn't sleep last night, just scrolling through
buzzing.
Twitter, absolutely so delighted. And I just thought about it. I was like, wait a sec, Chelsea were playing tonight. I actually didn't check the score till like 12, 1:30, or 1 a.m. I was like, oh shit, they drew. And then I sent a text saying, is top 4 still on?
Is it? It's a good question. Like, honestly, right now, we're 5 points off 4th place. With 6 games to go. We're playing Southampton tomorrow. West Ham play Chelsea on Saturday. So they'll obviously after tomorrow they're both going to have a game in hand, but they're playing each other. So if we do win tomorrow, we go 2 points behind Chelsea in 4th with Leicester play. When do Leicester play? Thursday. So we'll
play West Brom as well.
Yeah.
It's not an easy game.
Okay, so we'll be 2 points off 4th with Chelsea playing West Ham, and they're both on the same points right now. They're on 55 each, so we'll be 2 points behind both of them when they're both playing each other. So really, top 4 really is like still there if we go on a good run. Liverpool obviously still in it as well, but it's going to be interesting to see how this is everything that's happened, how this affects people, the clubs and the players and everything, because apparently Chelsea, yesterday the team were just woeful, sapped of any energy and all of it because of all the surrounding circumstances. That's what they put it down to.
But now this is kind of put to bed, this Super League. Maybe it can reinvigorate them now.
Hopefully reinvigorates us with Mason in there as well. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it affects the likes of Liverpool and
because we know how it
Chelsea
affects the
and
fans,
stuff.
but we don't know. I mean, a few players have come out and spoke. We don't know.
Only
how
Liverpool and United players.
We
Haven't
don't
heard a
really
peep
know
from Spurs players.
how it's affected the footballing players as a whole, kind of thing.
We haven't heard a peep from any Tottenham player.
No,
haven't heard a
and
peep from them.
I imagine that's Daniel Levy kind of putting a block on things. But we've got a super chat here from Alex Manchian saying, I refuse to see UEFA and FIFA as the good guys. All these network of power have now shown us all the hand that they are willing to play with when their status quo was threatened.
Oh, look. The next World Cup is in Qatar, for God's sake.
Yeah, that needs to be stopped as well.
They're not the good guys at all, and that definitely needs to be stopped. And you know what? Part of me thinks if we had made these kind of demonstrations when that was announced, that maybe would have stopped. But I think it might be too little, too late. But you never know. It's still a bit of time.
We thought it was too little, too late for the Super League.
I did, and that was proven to be wrong. So maybe we should start some demonstrations for the Qatar World Cup as well, because that is also absolutely
well, you know what's a perfect
needs to be
place
stopped.
to do that is the Euros coming to this country this summer.
Damn right. We should protest the Qatar World Cup because the humanitarian crisis going on with the no human rights for the migrant workers is absolutely despicable and needs to be cooled down. We should be making a stink about it.
People are literally dying building these stadiums out in Qatar.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This is the front page of the Mirror. You're not singing anymore. With the parasites on with Glazer there. You got who's it? Glazer, Kroenke, and Henry. There on the front page. No Joe Lewis or no Levy, but there you have it. And then the back page is European Super League.
European Super League. Oh, it makes my heart just... Oh, come on. Oh,
and
it makes me so happy reading all these highlights.
That piece of shit, man.
Yeah, he's gone now. He's gone. And also it's mad how literally not only have we stopped the Super League, we've literally toppled like the Agnelli and Woodward and some chairmen have had to lose their jobs over this, which is like mad when you consider like how they're considered untouchable, these board members, and yet they've lost their jobs over this.
I mean, yeah, you can get kind of chairman out. I think it's much easier to get chairman out than owners out because you've got to find a buyer. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's got to be someone ready to buy the club.
Yeah, 100%. What Spurs Express? What they just tweeted.
And this is more. I mean, the papers is absolutely. I mean, this is got to be the biggest footballing story in our lifetime.
Is it the biggest ever win for fans in football?
I think so. I can't think of a bigger one. I really can't. I can't remember in my lifetime fans coming like this together and absolutely sticking it to the man.
100%.
What does that say? Read it.
It says it's all gone to plot. Love it. Absolutely love it.
And there's a big banner there outside Stamford Bridge, created by the poor, stolen by the rich. The snake oil six they're calling them, should now grovel to those who really are important, the fans. No winners except the fans.
Damn right.
Snake bite. Shame on you. These are the signs outside the Etihad last night. I mean, it just makes me so happy just reading all this, man. And here's Ryan Mason, big Ryan Mason on the page.
Yeah.
I've already had messages from Poch wishing me luck. I've had some tough moments, but I'm feeling good now. And you know what? Not much has been made out of Ryan Mason and Jose Mourinho because of all this story.
Yeah, but
kind
now
of thing.
I
What
feel
a
like
story for Ryan Mason on the brink of death a few years ago. You know what I mean? With that horror injury, getting kicked in the head. And for him,
clash of heads, wasn't it?
Yeah,
With
clash of heads. Sorry,
Cahill.
clash of heads. But for him to come now and manage his boyhood club, albeit interim to the end of the season, what a story, man!
Yeah, it's a great story, and for his boyhood club as well, for the club he grew up with, the club he came through the ranks with, to be leading them out in a cup final is a great story, and I'm so happy for him to get this opportunity. Obviously, the circumstances aren't the best for what's happened surrounding the club, but maybe it offers just an opportunity from now to the end of the season for everyone, especially with the whole Super League collapsing. Everyone all the Spurs fans to come together and try and have a big finish to the season, and now with top four actually mattering and also still being open, it gives us an opportunity to maybe fight for something now at the end of the season. There's now a bit of excitement for me because you know, over the past couple of days I was like, who cares about the end of the season? It doesn't really matter.
Felt like there's been a grey cloud on top of this club even before the Super League.
Yeah, but also it's true. But also felt like first of all, that's true. I wasn't excited for the end of the season under Jose. I'm not gonna lie. I think we won. It was the players that stopped playing for him. We could all see that, and it turned extremely toxic. But then the whole Super League thing came in, and all of a sudden there was a new threat to the club. Not just apathy, but also literally a threat to the football itself.
Much bigger threat than
exactly
just Jose Mourinho.
Exactly. So I was not only was I not caring about the end of the season, it was like I didn't know what it means to not finish top four or anything like this, but at least we now have a set of rules. We know what's going to happen and we can know what we need to achieve from now to the end of the season, and it's still possible. It is still possible. We can go on a run. We really can. With the fixtures we have left now, if we win all 6 games, I do think we'll be in top 4.
It's a big ask, obviously. Ryan Mason's first ever.
But I tell you what, I tell you what, the best thing about the reason why I'm a bit more confident about our last 6 games, apart from Leicester, every team we play is not battling relegation and isn't fighting top 4. They're kind of in that middle thing where they got nothing to play for. So if we take everything as seriously as possible and we really go for these last 6 games and go for the win in each of them, we can win these 6
I
games.
remember it was a bit similar to the back end of last season after lockdown. The majority of teams we played were in that boat as well, weren't they? And we went on a really good run.
Exactly. So you look, the season now is all not lost. We now have something to fight for. Now I am a bit excited from now to the end of the season.
Super chat here from Toby Millard. Have you read this one?
No.
I cannot tell you how relieved I am feeling right now. It would have been heartbreaking, but I was genuinely ready to walk away from the club. I'm so proud of everyone who stopped it from happening. And look, that's completely right, because me and you, we were both ready to walk away from the club. I mean, we weren't ready to walk away in terms of watching week in, week out, but we were in terms of ready to give up a season tickets, not stepping foot in that stadium ever again. We were ready for that. We were ready. I was ready not to even go to this cup final this weekend. I was even disillusioned with going there.
I was, and it was really on a crossroads for me. I think coming into this with the Super League, it was a crossroads in terms of how I feel about the club. It's like, it was kind of like in a way, it was kind of like how do you call it? Like an experiment in how far a club's owners can push its fans before they turn away. In a way, that's what I felt like it was. And they kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and then this happened. And this was like, if you're not going to turn away now, when will you turn away? In a way, so I had really struggling. I was really, really struggling, and you could probably see if you watch our videos how depressed and how like we weren't sure how to deal with this whole situation.
I mean, that live stream we did yesterday morning. And the live stream we did yesterday night, the two moods.
Yeah, completely. It's completely night and day, and the mood could not be more different between then and now. And I'm just so relieved, and I'm so happy, and I'm so proud of the football community for what we've done in these last 48 hours. And I'm saying no to power. Let's read this super chat from Marco Di Petromeria. Says, this is all great, but today Italian media are reporting Spurs are 1.169 billion. 1 point in debt. Aren't you worried the whole club will go bankrupt without the ESL?
Look, it's it's very possible. We're in money problems right now. I think a lot of the footballing community are
Everyone
in money
is.
problems
It's
right
not just
now.
us. It's everyone.
But look, I think we need to get ourselves out of it, but we need to get Edic out of the club first and foremost. I mean, once we get these parasites, not just Spurs, but Liverpool and Man U and Arsenal and all these people, once we get them out, then we can start worrying about everything, and maybe a new owner can come and help us with that.
Yeah, true. Am I worried about us going bankrupt? I'm not worried about us going bankrupt. I am worried that we are obviously going to have very little money to have and stuff like that, and to improve the team. But going bankrupt, I don't think we're going to go bankrupt. I think we're in a decent position in terms of moving forward. And with the new state, once we get fans back in the stadium and stuff like that, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I really believe that.
Let's get Bob Spur on. Bobby,
Yes,
how you
Bob.
doing, mate?
Come
Brilliant.
on.
Yeah, brilliant. Come on. I'll tell you what, if you're a Spurs supporter and you went to sleep about 48 hours ago and not woke up, and you're woken up and you're thinking, what's going on here? It's so many different emotions. Just follow on what you're saying, Tim, as well. I don't think there's any chance of us getting bankrupt, really, mate. Like you just said, purely and simply, we've got the biggest money-making, revenue-making machine there, i.e. the stadium and the contractual rights and stuff. So we've got money guaranteed coming in, whenever that is, half a season or a season later. We've got guarantee income coming in, and because on the back of that, we'll always get loans, and there will be, confident lenders out there. So I don't think bankruptcy is going to be. Obviously, we'll have to probably watch what we're spending, but same as 20 years, isn't it? But
Yeah,
what
exactly.
a roller coaster! What a roller coaster! Oh my God!
I mean, we've had one win, Bob. We've had one win in this Super League thing, but we need to keep going about this ENIC stuff. We need to keep going. What is your message to fans in terms of the future of this football club?
We can't stop. I saw a message today because the Liverpool owner came out and apologised and said, everyone's like, good on him, good on him. No, why good on him? It's like saying, sorry, I decided to kill you, but I've decided not to anymore. So sorry, my intentions were.
Literally.
You can't
Literally.
get away with saying sorry. Levy can't get away with saying sorry, and people going, oh, you know what? Fair enough. At least he's come out and said sorry. No, what a load of crap. And I hope fans don't do that, and I believe fans won't fall for that anymore. They've prodded us, they've prodded the fans throughout the years and got away with it. Then the sleeping giant are the fans in this, and they've woken up. They woke up yesterday, every sleeping giant, and just turned it around. And I've never seen it. I remember the Alan Sugar days. I remember all that, and I remember how no one was touching Amstrad products and stuff like that. I remember all that, and I remember going to White Hart Lane with Dad. I mean, I'm not down south anymore, but back in the day we were. I remember getting pissed on Skull, the pack of beer. I don't, but that's all I remember. That's the memory of it. But
I thought Spurs fans only drank Holston back then.
That's it. Yeah, I know. I think Skull was cheaper. Hey, Levy fan, I suppose. No, but. I've never seen it. I've never seen such a thing. And someone stole my thunder. I was going to say exactly the same thing about the World Cup. I think this will set precedent, and people will realise, because there's been so much uproar. We don't have to go into what the rights and wrongs are about, the World Cup being put in Qatar, and we know what the wrongs are. So I think this will set precedent. I think people around the world will take notice, not just Europe, not just this country. I think around the world. I mean, last night I sat down at 1 o'clock after all the hoo-ha. Everyone went to bed. All you guys had finished your turn. I sat down and I thought, you know what? I'll go on, do a live stream 5 minutes and put my final thoughts down. Mate, I was on there for another hour and a half. People coming on. Cody came on. Will came on.
It's never 5 minutes, Bob. It's never 5 minutes.
I know. Teacher came on, and we're all saying the same thing. This is not the end. We'll put a really good warning out. Cody the same. I think Will's just sent you a message saying, look, I'm a bit worried. This probably finished a bit too easy. And Cody was on the same thing. I did say, look, it has come from the power of the fan. Don't underestimate it. But they did have some choice warning words. And I think you kind of echo that. It's not the end, is it? It's not
No,
the
it's
end.
not,
We know
can't
he's
be.
going to come again.
I think it's far from the end, Bob. It's far from the end. And I think you could tell that as well a bit in Daniel Levy's statement last night.
Yeah. There was that was the most
And it's funny you say that,
lukewarm.
because here, just got a super chat that leads into that question. It says, the European Super League was like a permanent top 4 without the work. It's Levy's dream. You could hear the reluctance in his statement, and it sounded like another pitch. It sounded like another pitch for the European Super League.
Yeah.
100%. That's what I was thinking last night. I was like, what sort of person are you? Like, why can't you even come out and apologise, even if you don't mean it? Even if you don't mean it.
Did you see the Arsenal's?
Yeah, I saw Arsenal.
They apologised.
They specifically said, we are embarrassed and we apologise. 2 words, we are embarrassed. You would never hear those words from ENIC, especially Levy. You would never hear such words. You know, even that lukewarm statement, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. It would have been like that.
But you know what? Kroenke, it's not like he meant it. It's not like he's one of the shining lights of football. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's as much of a disgrace as Daniel Levy and ENIC are. Yeah. But at least he has the face to come out and say sorry to the fans. At least he has the face to do that.
He probably didn't mean it as well, Ben. He probably didn't even mean it, mate.
No, of course he didn't.
But at least come out and same with the Liverpool. They're probably absolutely gutted. They're absolutely gutted. They've been ruined. You know, all these dreams have gone to ruin because of the fans and because of the tradition and the history of what football is. But at least they've come out and said it. But it doesn't make it any better. And what I don't want fans to do is to look at an apology from an owner and think, you know what, at least he's done that. Okay, no, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. There's a bigger challenge coming. There's a bigger fight coming. And the sooner we get these guys out, the better. Because otherwise, it's going to be we'll be doing all this again in a few years' time, if not a year's
Bob, can
time.
I ask you a question? Is there anything the ownership can do at this point to tell you that they can still be good owners of this club, or is it completely untenable?
Guys, you go to the match every week. I'm asking you. I mean, in my eyes, I only went to 11 games last year, but I mean, health issues, and before that, I only went to 8 games. I live up north now, but I'm asking you, what can they do? There's nothing they can do. You'll never trust someone. It's like going out with someone, getting married to someone, and they're cheating on you, and then you have to spend the rest of your life. But you'll always be questioning them. The trust will never ever be there ever again, and you'll always second guess it. Even if he goes out and buys a superstar, we'll still be thinking.
You're just doing that to save face. That's what we're really thinking.
What's the ulterior motive here? Because is he just softening us up so he can dug another knife in there? No. It's in my eyes they can't do anything, and I'm sure I'd say about 80%, 90% of the fans' eyes. I understand people are going, oh, what if we got left behind? What we go? Some things are worth more than money, aren't they? You know.
Agreed.
And it just want to sat right, and maybe in a few years' time, we'll always have this as a reference point. Only if we went in the ESL would have had the money. We'll always say that. With us Spurs fans, we'll always go, oh, only if. But we'll never ever wish we were in it. Ever.
100%.
Never. And no, it's just desserts. And like I say, Levy, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd put money on him going before the end of the week. I know how I had a crazy little feeling about. Yeah. There's something again that feeling. I've got a funny feeling he's going to go before the cup final. No idea why. I've got a really funny feeling he's going to go before the cup final, and we can rejoice.
And Bob, obviously, we now actually have an end of the season to kind of look forward to, in a sense, because before everyone was down in the dumps.
Bring on the cup final, people.
I want to ask you 2 questions. First of all, is top 4 still on, and are you excited for the end of the season? And on the flip side, would you accept a points deduction if it is inflicted on Spurs, 100%. Even if it does rule us out of any kind of European chances?
100%, because I think us fans will understand and accept it. What Levy and ENIC won't understand, or will be harder to take, is the fact. Oh no, they've gone positions lower in the league, which means less money. Which definitely means no European football. That'll hurt them. What's going to hurt us? We'll accept it. We'll say, yeah, bring it on. Fair enough, because we'll be asking. I think your mate earlier on said exactly the same thing. We want to be the shining light of how it should be done, and we'll take it. And I'm sure you ask any Arsenal fan, Man City fan, Man United fan, Liverpool fan, Chelsea fan, they'll say exactly the same thing. Because we'd be asking for it. We'd definitely be asking for it, and rightly so. But I think the point deduction, believe it or not, will hurt us less, but the owners a bit more, and that's what we want. That's what we want. With regards to top four, mate, they're going to find out that Man City and Chelsea have been up to no good. They're going to be deducted points. We're going to win the league, and then we're going to win the cup final because it's written in the stars. Ryan Mason coming back home to win the cup as well. But it's written in the stars. And there was such a different wave of emotion. Ben knows. We tweeted a couple of days ago. I'm like, I can't get up for the final. I cannot get up for the final. I don't. There's a sensible part of me that just doesn't want to go. And then suddenly yesterday happened. I was like, right, where's my gear? We need to get,
Not the right kind of gear, I hope.
No, the
gear. Bob, let me ask you this: if they do, let's say they deduct 20 points for each Super League club, it puts Arsenal in the relegation zone.
Yeah, I know. That's going to be hard to take. I mean,
not for would it? Would you if it puts us in 16th and Arsenal in 18th?
Yeah, but not in this way.
Yeah.
Man. Not in this way.
No.
As much as I want Arsenal to be relegated, I think in this way, when we've all been in it, when we've all been in it together, it would leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
But on one hand, you're saying you accept a points deduction, but that might mean Arsenal in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't rejoice in the fact that Arsenal gone down because of a point deduction. I wouldn't take any pleasure. Obviously, there'll be banter and stuff, but it'd be wrong. It'd be so wrong because then if they did get relegated, we could take a sixth position going down to 12th or 8th. But for a club like Arsenal, any other clubs getting relegated, their fans don't deserve that. It wasn't the fans, it wasn't the manager, it wasn't the players, and big up to the Chelsea fans again, like we say, and can't believe we're bigging them up. But I wouldn't want to see Chelsea go down that because they don't deserve that. They regardless of what we thought our thoughts of them, their players and the fans don't deserve that. And in a way, if that happens, then the ESL guys could turn around and say, "Ha, as you see," or the owners could turn around and say, "There you go, you didn't want to see it. No, here's your punishment." No.
I saw a tweet last night that I was talking to my brother about that all 6 clubs should be banned from Europe next season or potentially the next couple of years. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm up for that as well. As hard as it is to take, again, that's going to hurt the pockets of the big wigs. I honestly think as fans, I think we'd probably accept a season. 2 seasons might be a bit harsh, but certainly a season out of Europe is something we'll have to accept. At least we've got our Spurs back. Yeah. But the European money is going to definitely... And I think isn't there a talk of actually punishing the 6 owners rather than the clubs, finding a way to do that? I was reading something about it, and I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I haven't heard anything about it yet.
I mean, about it. In an ideal world, that would be, because, I think the governing bodies need to realise that the fans, the players, the managers had no clue. And that's the biggest. I said in my tweet, that's the hardest thing to accept is the fact that just picturing 6 owners in a little dark room in front of their monitors with their little checkbooks and calculators working it all out, and it wasn't over one night, guys. We know it's gone on for ages and ages.
Yeah. And
then to finally next day just come out and say, "Here you go, lump it. We've signed this. See you later. We don't give a crap about you." So there was an interesting theory yesterday as well. Do you reckon Poch knew anything about it? Because him and Levy were pretty close. Do you think Levy might have mentioned something to Poch and then forgot about it? I'm not saying the sacking had anything to do with it, but the reason why Poch has taken so long to find a job is because maybe he was questioning, is this team going to go in the ESL? And when he has got a job, it's PSG. And which team weren't in the ESL? PSG weren't. So, I don't know. There was a...
I'm not sure about that, but I can imagine someone with the morals of Pochettino really did not agree with this. And I assure you, if he was at Tottenham at the time this was announced, he would have walked. I'm pretty sure of that.
Or condemned it straight away.
Yeah, or condemned it straight away.
Do you think there was a trick missed yesterday from... no, I suppose that's a bit unfair. Because there was part of me saying, Ryan, come on. Just say something because you could see what the word.
He can't.
Maybe
Man.
it was too early. It was too early.
His hands were tied.
It's too
his
early.
hands were
Wasn't it?
tied. I mean, Daniel Levy just gave him his absolutely dream role, 29 years old,
Yeah,
of managing Tottenham Hotspur after everything that's happened to him.
exactly. No, but no, it's not over, and I think the fans need to. You need to drill it home. I think the protest today needs to. If I wasn't up north and recovering, I'd be down there today as well. We can't let it. We can't sit back and think, oh yeah, finally it's all over. It's not over. We've got a bigger battle on its way, and we need to be ready. We need to be ready.
100%. Bob, absolute pleasure as always, mate. And let's hope for 3 points tonight. What's your score prediction tonight?
4-0, mate. I'm still sticking with 4-0.
Still 4-0, yeah?
4-0. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Come on,
Bob.
Nice
Come on,
one,
you
Bob.
Spurs.
Good to see
See
you
you later.
again. See you later, mate. All right, I've just got a message. I want to see if it's anything relevant.
From
One
who?
second. Tribus Watches have ended their business partnership with Liverpool. So this is it. Sponsorship's starting to pull out from these clubs now.
Yeah, I saw that. That was yesterday, no?
Oh, was that yesterday? It looks like today.
It was yesterday.
Oh, okay. But anyway, that's big as well.
Yeah, sponsorship. They're starting to hit their bottom line. Damn right. We've got a DM from Jory as well. He says,
the Joracle.
the Joracle, here's what he had to say. He says, I am unfortunately on a helicopter shoot today, so can't join you. I didn't know he does helicopters, apparently, Jory. But want to praise you for your quick and decisive reaction. Well done. Now our sights should be on the next priority, a #GetOut campaign against all of the Big Six owners, with the fans take on their own owners. Let's get some songs for this lot, and when we are back in the stadiums, let's sing each other's owners' songs in unison. Home and away fans sing together against the owners. Thoughts of this gives me chills.
I 100% agree. And I think he's absolutely spot on.
We need to.
We need to. And you can see, this is what it's all about now. ENIC out. We must get these parasites out of football, man. Super chat here from Will Stewart saying all 12 clubs should be banned from the Champions League next season. I kind of agree. I agree. Not just Champions League, but Europa League, whatever you qualify for, to be honest.
I don't think they will.
They probably won't.
Someone shared a tweet with us. They said, I thought I'd share this with you lads, and it's an email to Daniel Levy. It says, hi Daniel, due to Spurs being a huge part of my life, I've been sat here thinking about yourself and ENIC. You've been chairman for 20 years now and only delivered one trophy, the smallest trophy of them all. You've failed countless managers with your refusal to invest in quality players on the field, always taking the cheap option. We've been so close to real success, and a couple of signings here and there would have pushed us on to dine at the top table and really compete at the elite level. But instead, you choose to sack the manager over replacing some of these spineless, average at best players. You've not only sold our soul for profit, but you've crushed any identity we had as a club. With the events yesterday, you've proven once again that you choose profit over glory. We thank you for the stadium, but now the time is to resign. We want our club back. Regards, the real fans of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Absolutely spot on from Carl there. Carlban, I don't know who that is, but I completely echo that email he sent to Daniel Levy, to be honest. I think it's definitely fair. I think it's definitely fair.
Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. I was trying to get Grandpa on. Is he in the background? No. All right. So I think we've run out of time today then. But that is your Good Morning Tottenham, taking you right through into the afternoon. We'll be back tonight with potentially a live stream from this ENIC out event. We'll be back with our watch along as well. And before that, you're going to have the pre-match pump up with David Harris, the Irish Hotspur, and then is our watch along, and then is a post-match fan show. It is your chance to have your say on the game, on ENIC, on anything you want to talk about Tottenham related. So we'll see you back tonight. We'll be having a live stream from the ENIC out event straight from Tottenham. So I'm very excited to watch that. But look, thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for your support and general viewing. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.